Hey, okay, I promised you a little video about this chap behind me. It's a little crazy Scottish poacher. Yeah, this is quite a funny story actually. And it all started one morning. I was having a cup of tea, just getting up, getting my day started, trying to get my head together, and I was sat in front of my computer. It wasn't switched on or anything. I was just sipping my tea and daydreaming like we all do. And I was looking at the screen, and then I saw this looking at me on the screen. It was, basically finger marks. I don't know, I must have touched it when I was doing my sculpting and put some clay marks or whatever on there. But I saw this and I could see something. In fact, I could see a lot. Well, I could see that. I was just looking at it and I could see, and if you look at it carefully, you can see kind of like the leg and the problem is that's reversed on camera, that's reversed round. So you've got to imagine that it's the other way around. So his leg's going that way and everything's going that way. So basically, yeah, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking like, I can see like an arm and a body and like a leg, one leg with like a leg and then a bone, and then I can see like a skull with two antlers, one broken, one not broken. Unfortunately, this photo doesn't show the head bit, but there was a bit of detail on the head and there was a bit of a beard. And I could really see something, and I thought, that's balmy. And I just got my iPad out and just sketched what I could see basically. And I just sketched it all out. So this is what I put on the iPad, and I was like, wow, that's mad. And I kind of wanted to just make it. I was like, that would be such a cool sculpture, you know. So then I just shelved it. I left it on my. I took a photo of this and I left the drawing and left it all alone for ages. But anyway, the day came when as you know, with the Elvis, I gave up the Elvis. I was like, he's gonna have to be shelved. So I started making him, and this is how it began. Because of the nature of the shape of it. It was all going to be falling over all the time. It was going to be doing this, going to be doing that. So I had to do part sculpt, part bake, part sculpt, part bake, because otherwise I was just dealing with, it was just going to fall all over the place. So this is how I started off with the leg. I'm sorry, I've got pictures here that I'll add here when I edit this, but I'm going to flick through them and then I'll add them here. So when you watch this, you'll obviously see them. Anyway, I'm waffling now. So yeah, there's the leg. Just found a metal base. I think that was off of a boiler or something. And then I just started building up, and you can see the good old wardrobe strikes again. If you've seen my earlier videos, you know what I mean. So yeah, I started to build him up. And then I just kept on adding more stuff and more of the metal wardrobe. It was always going to be an issue though, because it always was going to want to fall. Even with me baking it, it was still not going to be happy to stay in one place. But yeah, I started to build it up more and more, using clay as a counterbalance and stuff like that. But yeah, I think this is when I started to see it coming together a bit. You know, I could see what I'd seen in the fingerprint. You know, I know this is crazy, but I think the message here is that if you're a painter or a sculptor or an earring maker, you know, because earring makers, they like to think of new patterns to make for their earrings, right? And painters are always looking for influence for backgrounds and shading and all that stuff. Well, look, this is a smudge, a fingerprint smudge on my screen that has led to that. So all I'm saying is, you know, keep an eye out. You don't know where art is. It could be anywhere. It could be staring at you anywhere. So it's a lesson that I've learned, that you can find ideas and inspirations pretty much anywhere. So anyway, I'm building him up. He's starting to get some structure to him. Then I started to make the skull, which I was quite enjoying doing this. It's kind of like, I had some pictures on the screen of skulls, so I started doing it, and it came out really well. I was really happy with that. In fact, somebody who first saw this sculpture when I made it, one of my friends, thought it was a real skull. I'm like, no, I think they're a bit bigger than that. But it was a compliment. It was nice that they said it. Yeah. So as you can see, it came out really well. I was really happy with that. And then I started to do the hair. It looks like a wrestler here. But if you saw the one with the dragon yesterday, you know, you can see again, I'm using the same technique. I'm just building it up. But this time, I do something slightly different in the next, there. Once I've put the beads of clay on, you get a knife and really mess it up, and you know what I loved about this sculpture is that I did the eyes and the nose and the ear and everything. It just didn't need any more. It didn't need any more. The expression in the whole thing is just ridiculous. It was perfect for this sculpture because he just looked so pained and troubled and fatigued, and I was really happy with that. So yeah, I just built him up, and I put like a weathered, torn shirt stroke jacket on him. It was actually longer there than what it ended up being, but oh, there, it's definitely too long now. I ended up cutting that, but yeah, you can see I put a necklace on him. Oh, and then the wooden leg. Now that actually wasn't in the smudge, but I was struggling to keep this thing upright. He was falling over all the time, and I wanted the leg to be the main feature, the actual leg. So I had to find a reason to prop him up, basically. And I thought, what about if he'd lost his other leg in a previous battle, and he actually had a wooden leg made out of a tree stump? I don't know. It was working in my head, so that's what I did. Yeah, it's a crazy sculpture, really, all of it. But I was so happy with the expressions, and I don't know, this one came together really quick, really quick. So yeah, so I did the arms, and you can see I've used wire to anchor the skull to the arm. I didn't want it to be like accurate, you know. I didn't want it to be like a proper torso with all in proportion and everything else. I wanted it to all be a bit crazy, really. I didn't really want him to have hands. I just wanted him to have lumps of clay at the end and stuff like that. I really wanted it to be quite abstract. So yeah. And then the man trap. Yeah, I made that all out of clay. That was fun to do. But basically, the moral of the story is he's kind of reached the end of the road. You know, he's obviously been in lots of battles and been caught many times, but this is his last moments. This is how I made the Scottish kilt. This is how I did the patterns for this. You know, I just overlaid clay, and then I just rolled it all out. I used plastic over the top to squash it all down, and then I used like I did with Jack Sparrow, I used material to texture it all. I pushed it all into the clay to make it all textured, and that's how it came out. I was well happy with that. I mean, you know, it's clay, right? To make it look like that's pretty cool. And then I made the little sporran and everything else and the belt. I was having fun. It was coming together really quick. I mean, I did this over a matter of, well, certainly, I think it would have been like a week and a half maybe, but not every day. So it was really coming together quick. Oh, and then I started to make these, the mountains or the rocks, whatever you want to call it, these are all out of polymer clay as well. Yeah, and then just put some feature on there to make them look like mossy and stuff. I covered them all in glue, and then I sprinkled all that stuff over, and yeah, it looked really good. So then we got this kind of effect going on. I was really loving life at this point. Lots of leaves. I started to put some blood where the trap was going to be. I added some extra features, like on his wooden leg he's got like a water bottle, and don't even ask me what he's got up his kilt. Moving on. And yeah, I just started adding features. Basically, he's got a knife, he's got like a cloth, a dirty rag cloth thing hanging down. I was just having fun. I was using my mop to hold him up in the end, because he just kept trying to fall over. Even with the other leg, there was just too much weight involved. And that's why I needed something else to put on the back, which I used the spear in the end to anchor him properly. But you can see the hair's going crazy because he's supposed to be at the top of a mountain and the wind's blowing. He's got his leg in a man trap. He knows he's blown it, basically. He's having his last moments. So then you can see I put loads of blood and loads of gore into the bottom of it, just to make it really look, yeah. And then I covered him in mud all over and made him look just done. He was done. He definitely was done. So, and then there he is. I mean, considering that was just a smudge on my screen, it's not too bad. It's not too shabby, is it? No? It's quite an impressive look, really, I think. I'm happy with him. It's definitely one of the more unusual ones that I've done. But I get a lot of comments about him. People like him a lot, so yeah, I don't know, I know I said this was a funny story. It is kind of a funny story, because you would never expect to get a sculpture from a fingerprint, would you? I mean, come on, let's be honest. It's like, you just wouldn't expect that. So, yeah, so, and this is a party trick he does. Now, this is funny, right? If you look at the eyes, they shut. When you dip down, they shut. And when you stand up, they open. So you can make him shut his eyes and open his eyes by dipping up and down, and his expression kind of changes as well into a more pained expression. I thought that was kind of cool. I mean, how cool's that? Yeah, so he's a cool guy, and I'm happy with him. And the more it sits, and the more, see, this one, it can get as messy and as dusty as it likes, because it really fits in with what's going on there, because he's up a mountain, and yeah, he's just had a hard time, hasn't he, really? But I just wanted to share that with you, because I think the moral of the story is, you know, keep your eyes open anywhere. You know, it could be in your car, it could be on your phone screen, it could be on your computer screen, it could literally be anywhere, you know, just a mark or a smudge, or you never know what you could actually see, because your mind is maybe different to other people's, so you might see things that other people don't see. But I think that's just a lesson there in just being observant, really, and look what can come from it. So yeah, I mean, this was never going to be a long video, but it was a bit of a break from this character. This if you watched this one yesterday, or whenever you watched it, this character here is our little friend at the moment we're working on. So he's next up. He's next up for the next development. What we're going to do then, I think what I've decided to do with him is, oh, I don't know why I'm overlapping videos here, because I should be talking about him on the next video. So yeah, stop it, go away. I will tell you about what I'm going to do with him on the next video. I will be doing another video for him, and I had an issue uploading just before I go. I'm going to end this in a minute, but before I go, I had an issue uploading the first video on the build of him. So there's actually 2 versions. One has all the effects and music that I usually do on my videos, and the other one's just raw with no effects, no music, no nothing. So weirdly, the one with no effects has been watched more than the other one. But just in case you get confused, it's not like I haven't already done a second one on the dragon. But I had 4 views before I realised I hadn't put all the effects on, so I didn't really want to delete it off the channel, because it's not, I don't think that's good for the channel, it's not good for YouTube, and it's not good for you guys either, in case you've shared it or anything. So yeah, I just don't want to, I don't want to take it off now, so I'm just going to have 2 versions of that. But what I'll do, when I do the dragon one, I'll the follow-up to the dragon one, I think I'll do 2 and 3, so that you guys know what's going on. So yeah, knocking the camera now. Okay, so look, that's it, guys. It's a really quick one today. It's, well, look, I've done really well. It's only, time I edit this, it'll be about 16, 17 minutes, but hopefully I've told a pretty cool story and given you a break from the dragon. So I will see you on the next dragon movie. So, sounds good, doesn't it? So I'll see you next time. Take it easy.